All right, hey, what's up, you guys? It's Heath. It is May 28th, about midnight, about 20-30 minutes away from that. Here to do some delts over at Armbrust Pro Gym. This delt workout is something I normally do throughout the year. It's one of my favorite workouts, so hopefully you guys can kind of see why I do it. The type of presses I'm going to do are a little bit different. Some of the machines that you may see, you may or may not have at your gym. Sorry if you don't. But here at Armbrust, we have like four different presses that we can choose from. Some are hamstring, some are Cybex, and some are Strive equipment. One of the cool things I like to do is start with my presses first. Some people may want to pre-exhaust doing some rears or side laterals or fronts. You know, I usually like to do some heavy pressing first, but more importantly, try to get full range of motion. The exercise that I'm going to start with is on the Cybex machine. They have different hand placements where you're going to be able to see me actually get maximum range of motion, not just at the very top, but actually very, very low at the bottom. So now my front delt is actually engaged on the inception of the workout. Rep range is usually around 8 to 12 reps. Sometimes I may go up to 15 just on a warm up, and 3 to 4 working sets. And trying to think, as far as dumbbells is concerned, we'll do that on side laterals, rears. We're going to do a lot of rears today. One of the big things about doing rears is the fact that a lot of guys don't have rear delts. You got to train those rear delts, especially those guys that have really round triceps and have big arms, because from the side, you have a very, very shallow rear delt. And that doesn't show the three-dimensionality of your physique. So all you guys that are out there, you know, killing your arms, you got to train shoulders even probably more because you're not going to have as balanced a physique as you think. The front delts usually get worked through the presses and even some front raises. We already know that. You know, sides, you know, just doing the lateral movements. You could pick anything from dumbbells to cables to different types of machines, and we'll play around with a little bit of that as well. But we're going to get a lot of volume in because I noticed that my shoulder development has improved over the past 5 years based on the fact that I can get that volume in with a shorter resting period. So the resting periods are going to be under 2 minutes. We're going to stay hard and just stay hungry throughout the entire workout. We're just going to train harder today and get that momentum going into the prep. Prep probably starts around next week or 2 weeks. Just goes by how I look and what myself and my trainer, Hani Rambot, actually decide upon. My weight right now is about 265, so that's actually pretty good. Normally around 250, 255 around this time, and I grow up to 275 and then come back down to about 245, 250-ish. Last year, had weight dropped way too much and was in the low 40s, whereas in 2013 I was just around 250. So trying to mitigate that by staying at a bigger weight right now and then grooving into the prep. So I guess enough talk, man. Let's go do it. What sucks about this machine is that it's very deceiving. As you can see, you can only fit on so many 45-pound plates, and there's a reason behind that. The angle itself and the way it's designed was to kind of humble us. A lot of people that I notice even at this gym do not like training on this machine because they can max out like some of the other ones, but they can't max out this one. This one could probably fit, I believe it fits 3 plates. I've probably never seen someone do that, but I've seen people do 3, 4, 5 plates on the hammer strap. Kind of weird, right? So that's something that, you know, when you're training for Olympia and we're just trying to get better, your job is to utilize these different movements to maximize your gains. And not really worry about numbers as far as the weight being pressed or pulled or curled or whatever. We want the measurements to grow. We want the measurements to get better. And for me, that's what this is about, is to make sure that measurements get better. You can go different grips on this, but for this particular exercise, I'm using this grip. I could always come back later on in the workout and use this one as well. So during my workout for tonight, I was doing 2 products for Get the Nutrition. One was the Built Beyond Your Limit Training. That's a lactic acid buffer that anyone that understands what that means, eliminates all lactic acid pretty much. So now you get true muscle fatigue. That whole burning sensation that you guys get when you're training, gone. That in addition to the Accelerate. The reason why I'm taking Accelerate, not Beyond Pumps right now, is because it's almost midnight and I don't need the excessive amounts of caffeine. I do usually 1 scoop of Accelerate before, and then a second one that I sip on during the workout with Built. Just keeps me going. Mental focus is good, pump is good, but the caffeine's really, really low. So I'll be making like mental notes of how I feel during this workout and if I want to continue to do the same one for the next few weeks. I know a lot of guys feel like they have to switch things up every week. You know, I used to read a lot of Flex Magazine, Muscle Fitness articles, especially ones with Ronnie Coleman in it. One thing I noticed with him, he kind of believed in the whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. If you're getting gains, man, why change up your workout? I don't understand. Stick with what works. A lot of people ask me like, you know, how do you shock your body and this and that? One of the ways I do it is change the order of the exercises that you do in a particular workout. Sometimes that works a lot better. But if I'm getting a pump and I feel like the muscle's actually being worked, there's no other way to kind of gauge progress unless if you do it for at least 3 to 4 sessions in a row. Because then you can see, like right now I'm only doing this much weight, and I'll probably do this for another couple sets because my body's just not used to doing it. Using an adaptation technique where you can actually work it for a few times over the next 3-4 weeks, I'm probably gonna do much more weight. But if I keep changing these workouts and stuff and come back to this, my body might not be used to it again. One thing that does for me is to really start taking these mental notes, you know, how I felt, making sure that my tempo and the technique are good throughout these reps. Last thing you want to do, especially training by yourself, is come in here, got this music blasting and stuff, got your pre-workout in, had a hell of a day, and then come in here and overexert yourself without purpose. You got to know that like each rep has to mean something. You have to be feeling something without tendons and ligaments being pulled on joints getting jacked up. It's very, very easy to allow that to happen because you're so jacked on everything, you're so pumped on everything that you're forgetting method to your madness, man. I did not become 4-time Mr. Olympia coming in here getting PRs every time out. I got it by staying strong from start of the prep to the end. And the only way I was able to do that is to start my prep or end my off season with better form. You'd rather have better form and get 100% of the gains than do it halfway and only get 50%. Make sense? I think so. So I think I'm gonna do some more close grip presses. That's something I like changing up with. Sometimes I'll go off and do like laterals, both rear, side, fronts, then come back to this. For this one, I'm thinking I might keep the presses going. Usually you want to keep some of your stronger exercises up front. So this is gonna be one of them. Oh, man. So it's always good to have a clock nearby. You can keep an eye on what's going on. Man. That burning and getting beat up now. Whew. So right now I'm just trying to focus on the tempo and the technique, making sure perfect practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. Practice bad habits, can't be perfect. Can't get perfect score, we're doing it half-ass. Everybody says they want to work hard. Everybody says they bust their ass. Everybody says they're gonna be a champion. Everybody writes stupid ass quotes on Instagram and Facebook and all this other stuff. But what the fuck are you doing when no one else is in the gym with you? What are you willing to do when it's just you by yourself? Who's gonna push you? I'm not there. It's just you. Your girl ain't there, your buddies ain't there. It's Thursday night. Everybody's out partying right now, getting ready to pre-party after they just got done doing Memorial Day. Everybody's been kicking it for the last 2 weeks. What are you gonna do? Hopefully you're doing what I'm doing. Because if you're not, you ain't getting better. Ooh. We'll get another one done here and then we'll go ahead and do some rears. Kill these rears and probably finish up with some side laterals and maybe some fronts. Just did back yesterday, so it'll be interesting how hitting these rears will work. I'm probably gonna hit at least 2 different exercises for rears. Got some cool machines for them. And I'll do some dumbbells as well. Those little muscles is what makes the difference. It's crazy, but it's true. Especially at this level. The other part about lifting by yourself is that you gotta rack your own stuff. It kind of sucks. Doesn't mean you punk out a lot of weight though. Me and this machine have a love and hate relationship. Because this machine isn't all about loading up the weight, it's about good range of movement, being able to hold at the top, and get a good tempo like I've been saying. What's crazy about this one is that you kind of figure out which side is strongest. You work on the other side a little bit more, just try to concentrate. Mind muscle connection, try to get that going. Sometimes we don't talk enough about that. After a while, you got to know what muscle you're trying to target. If that rear delt is not firing, even if I'm going like this, two things: either you don't have the muscle there, or the exercise you're doing it improperly. At least with this in particular, it's almost foolproof. Get a couple more here, then move on to some side laterals. As you try to get at least 2, if not 3 rear delt movements within a shoulder workout. Because what you cannot see can hurt you on stage. So if you can't see the rear delts and you don't train them, someone like me is gonna be training them. We're gonna whip your ass on that stage. You didn't pay attention to those little things that the judges are looking at. Screw it, I'll do another set. Controlled aggression, guys. You save all that madness for when you're doing the reps. In between, quickly go over how it felt. Did you learn anything? And what you're gonna do to apply it to make this one better. And you may be tired, maybe fatigued. Probably not, because you took your built and you're accelerated. But starts with the mind, then your body. Mind strong, body even stronger. I'm gonna do some one-arm side laterals. I think we're gonna start with that. It's gonna help me concentrate on each arm independently. See a lot of guys, you know, they go both, and then they use a lot of momentum. This way, we kind of keep the momentum to a minimum. So if that means you got to go down and weight, do it. Perfect practice, remember that. Whew. Normally side laterals are my second exercise, not my fifth. So, but feel good with it. Now I'm going to do a little bit of variation. I'm going to do 5 one arm, 5 the other arm on front raises. One's going to be palms down. The other one, the other 5, it's going to be thumbs up. So 5 this way. So when you're training, you want to be able to see like the different types of separation between the front, side, and rear. Obviously, it takes a long time, muscle maturity to kick in to be able to see all that, especially this far out in off season. I'm just under 16 weeks out, so normally you probably won't see that separation until maybe halfway through the prep or even toward the end. But that's why I always try to stay a little bit relatively leaner during the off season. So when it's time to really light it up, get all the food in, cleaner food, more consistent training, being at home, this and that. Your body responds a lot better because it's not having to burn off a lot of fat. You actually can grow into the contest. I know a lot of other guys, they try to blow up 290, 300, 310, 320 pounds. Teach his own, my friends, but I am not trying to be unable to tie my damn shoes. And living in this altitude, you will get your ass handed to you being that weight. And overall, I just don't need the stress on my heart. I like to be a little bit more agile, but to each his own, right? I still like to throw a little jab in and say that at least my method works, I guess, but everybody's different. All right. Well, that pretty much covers our May 28th delt workout here at Armbrust Pro Gym. I'm obviously Heath, 4-time Miss Olympia, going for that number 5 in September at the Orleans Arena, where I'm going to be going against the best bodybuilders in the world. We just finished off with some front raises. We started off over there doing the side back side. Did 2 different types of pressing movements on that. Followed that up with some rears. Did 2 different exercises for rears. Came over, did some laterals, 1-arm laterals, and then finished with some front raises. So pretty much we did a lot of front delt movement and rear delt movement for this one. Didn't do as much side laterals this time around, and that's something maybe I changed the next week. Maybe the same workout, but just a little bit, maybe an additional exercise for that side. So usually trying to get a lot of pressing because of the front delt, but also, like I said, working the rear. A lot of people do a lot of side laterals and stuff. I definitely highly recommend it, but also the rear. Got to get more rears in, guys. Got to get more balance to that shape. Got to get more cap to the delts. That's gonna make everything pop, everything stand out, not just on the front poses, but especially on the side poses. So then, no matter who you are, you can stand, whether you're a welterweight going against a light heavy, an overall, or a heavyweight, or even super heavy. You have the shape and the deep cut separation that will separate you on stage. Shout out to my boys over at Gifted Nutrition. We just had a great week. We went over to Idaho to go meet with our friends over at bodybuilding.com, working on a big time partnership with them. Shout out to those guys as well. Ryan DeLuca, you're the best. Can't wait to do some really cool things with you guys going into this year's 51st Mr. Olympia contest. This accelerator still got me going, so I'm gonna leave you guys and I'm gonna go sneak off and do some ab work and then maybe even some calves and stuff. I'm still a little bit wired. Until next time, it's The Gift, going on that 5-time, drop for 5, baby.